You know that feeling when you're watching a movie or playing a video game and the music just gets epic? Well, what if I told you that a lot of that power comes from a secret code, a musical blueprint written over 250 years ago? Today, we're going to crack that code.
I mean, really think about it for a sec. You're in that final boss battle, or the hero is about to face the main villain, and the music just hits different, doesn't it? It builds up all this tension, makes you feel every single emotion. But how? Well, it's not magic. It's actually a brilliant formula.
To get how this formula works, we need to jump in a time machine and head back to the 18th century. Our destination? Vienna. You can basically think of this city as the ultimate creative server for music. If you were a composer who wanted to make it big, Vienna was the only place to be.
So what made Vienna the place to be? Well, first off, it was the capital of a massive empire, so it pulled in talent from all over Europe. Then you had these super rich families who acted like rival record labels, all competing to sign the best musicians. And public concerts started becoming a thing, so new musical ideas could spread like a viral social media trend. It was the perfect storm for creativity.
And right in the middle of this whole scene, you had this absolute dream team. You've got Joseph Haydn, who was kind of the wise veteran of the group. People call him the father of the symphony. Then, of course, there was Mozart, the legendary child prodigy who was just on another level. And then came Beethoven, the young rebel who showed up and completely changed the rules of the game. These three are our main characters.
So, what were these guys actually doing that was so revolutionary? Well, they were creating a whole new style of music. Think of it like a tech upgrade. The music that came before them was often super heavy and complicated, kind of like a clunky old computer from the Dark Ages. These guys came along and created something new, sleek, powerful, and way more user-friendly.
Okay, so here's the difference. The old style, called Baroque, was just a lot. It was packed with so many layers of sound at once that it could feel kind of cluttered. The new classical style cleaned everything up. It focused on one clear, catchy melody that your brain could actually follow. With a simple, organized background, it went from heavy and complicated to balanced and elegant.
So how'd they make it so organized and easy to follow? They used something called form. And form is just what it sounds like. It's the blueprint, the game plan for a piece of music. It gives the song a structure, a story, with a beginning, a middle, and an end, so you don't get lost. It's what keeps you hooked from start to finish.
And the most important blueprint they ever came up with is called Sonata-allegro form. This thing was like their main story mode for creating musical drama. It's the secret sauce for building conflict, adventure, and a really satisfying ending. And believe it or not, we still hear it in soundtracks all the time.
So how does it work? Well, at its core, it's basically a three-act story, just like a movie. First up, you have the exposition, where we meet the main characters. Then comes the development, where the big adventure happens. And it all wraps up with the recapitulation, which is like the grand homecoming finale. Pretty simple, right?
All right, let's break it down. Act 1, the exposition. The name kind of gives it away. This is where the composer exposes you to the main ideas of the piece. These musical ideas are called themes, and you can totally think of them as the main characters in our story.
And usually you get two main themes that are total opposites. Let's call theme 1 our hero. It's usually energetic, bold, and confident. It's in the song's home key, which is like its home base. But then you meet theme 2, our rival. This theme is often softer, more flowing, and this is the important part, it's in a totally different key. It's playing for another team. This clash is what creates the musical conflict.
And now we get to the really fun part, Act 2, the development. This is where the adventure really begins. It's easily the most exciting and unpredictable part of the whole thing. The composer takes those characters we just met and basically throws them into a crazy, chaotic journey.
Seriously, the best way to think about the development section is as one giant, epic remix. The composer takes the hero and the rival themes, chops them up, mashes them together, and creates something totally new and dramatic.
So what does this sound like? Well, those nice themes get broken into little pieces. The music starts jumping all over the place to different keys, which creates this awesome feeling of instability and tension. This is where the composer really gets to show off and flex their skills, kind of like a director creating a crazy action sequence. It is designed to put you on the edge of your seat.
Okay, so after all that chaos, we need to bring it home. Welcome to Act 3, the recapitulation. This is the homecoming. That familiar music from the beginning finally returns, and the conflict that was built up through the whole story gets resolved.
And here is the big twist that makes the ending feel so good. Remember our rival theme? The one that was in a different key, playing for the other team? Well, in the end, it comes back, but this time it's played in the same home key as our hero theme. The conflict is over. They're on the same team now, and that is what gives you that incredibly satisfying feeling of resolution.
And just when you think it's all over, sometimes the composer throws in a little something extra called a coda. Coda is just Italian for tail, and you can think of it as the post-credit scene of the music. It's one last powerful section to wrap everything up and make sure you know, without a doubt, that the story is finished.
Okay, so that's a cool history lesson, but why does this 250-year-old formula still matter to us today? Well, because this blueprint didn't just fade away. Its impact is absolutely massive, and I guarantee you hear it all the time without even realizing it.
Seriously, its influence is everywhere. This storytelling form became the gold standard for composers for hundreds of years. The whole idea of creating conflict, developing it, and then resolving it, that's exactly what modern composers for movies and video games do to play with our emotions. It is literally in the DNA of the music we love today.
When you boil it all down, what those composers in Vienna really did was figure out how to make music that was super smart and structured, but also could hit you right in the feels. They cracked the code on how to tell an epic story using nothing but sound.
So, here's a challenge for you. The next time you're playing a game or you're watching a big blockbuster movie, really listen to the music. See if you can hear the hero and rival themes. Try to spot that moment where the music goes on its big adventure. Now that you have the secret code, see if you can hear the story.